Hi everyone, welcome. We'll get started in just a minute. Okay, hi everyone and welcome to our webinar. Today we're going to be talking about Portals Pro, which is a suite app designed by Twarna, built on the NetSuite platform, and it has three different portals, which is employee, vendor, and customer portal. And today in particular, we're going to be talking about how Portals Pro can help accelerate your digital transformation journey through invoice automation. All right. So if you've been here before, you know we hold these webinars every month. And if you missed any of our past webinars, you can go ahead and catch up on our website. So we have a bunch of webinars on our archive page, close to 30. If you see something that interests you, everything is around NetSuite. Please just go ahead and catch up and watch some of those webinars. A brief introduction on us. We started out consulting in NetSuite and Salesforce in 2007, and we have evolved since then to provide support, managed services, and integration services for NetSuite clients. And we've also designed and built solutions for the NetSuite platform, one of which we are featuring today. And these cover a wide range of industries and address every business need. And if you would like to look them up, you can find them on suiteapp.com under the search name Twarna. You can see all our products here. Next up, our speaker for today, Shravanti. She started with Twarna in July 2020. She's PMP certified and she works on the product team, heading product discovery, planning and development, product demos, implementation, and post-implementation support. Hey, Shravanti.
Hi, Tina. Hi, everyone.
Also, a note to our audience, if you have any questions that come up during the course of the webinar, please post them in our chat box and we'll answer them as we go. And we also have some time at the end of the webinar to answer any questions. Okay, Shravanti, can you tell us a little bit about Portals Pro, what it is, and just give us an overview?
Sure. So, as you've mentioned in the introduction, PortalsPro is a built for NetSuite platform that streamlines vendor, customer, and employee engagement. The vendor management aspect of PortalsPro automates the purchase to pay cycle, right from vendor onboarding, self service, help desk, and invoice automation. The customer management module enables your customers to view their transactions and also initiate hassle free payments. And as far as employee engagement is concerned, Portals Pro can be used by HR teams to communicate and keep employees engaged and broadcast any important information. Employees can log into the portal to view their profiles, enter expenses, apply approved leaves, and access paychecks, etc. For today's webinar, we will focus on the latest updates we have on our invoice automation feature, which is a part of our vendor portal. Stay tuned for future webinars to learn more about our other portals.
That sounds good. Shravanti, can we talk a little bit more about invoice automation?
Sure. As you can tell, the Portals Pro platform is packed with features. In today's webinar, we're going to cover a few new features we've added to the invoice automation process as a part of our recent release. For complete details on Portals Pro's other features, please visit our website or contact us to schedule a demo. Let me talk about a use case we've learned about in the past and hearing about quite often. In most companies, the AP team spends a lot of time manually processing large volumes of vendor invoices by keying in the data from the invoice into an ERP system like NetSuite and then matching them to POs, etc. They also spend a lot of time responding to vendor queries. Our invoice automation solution optimizes this mundane and repetitive process by automating the core process of converting vendor invoices into bills in NetSuite within minutes of it being received. The automation is achieved through our powerful OCR ML based technology, which can achieve great accuracy. The human in the loop aspect of it makes sure there is continuous improvement in accuracy and also that the system will be able to process a wide range of invoice formats. The system supports two-way matching of bills, meaning PO on the incoming invoice is extracted and matched with the PO in NetSuite. If a match is found, a bill is created against that PO. If not, you could either choose to create a standalone bill or just flag the invoice off for a manual review. The flagging, the flagged records, will show on a dashboard, and in some cases, email notifications can also be sent out to the concerned users, making it all easy for an action to be taken in such cases.
Right. Now, what would be the advantages of invoice automation, Shrivanti?
Yeah. As I mentioned before, it is a built for NetSuite app. So it integrates with your existing NetSuite instance seamlessly. Needless to say, it is safe and secure. There is no data storage outside of NetSuite. It is all within NetSuite. Your vendors will have access to that data via the portal. This will reduce their queries and save your team's time as well. All of this can be achieved without you having to purchase a NetSuite license for each of your vendors. We just need one license for unlimited Portals Pro access. With our solution taking care of digitizing vendor invoices, your AP team can focus on other tasks, thus improving their efficiency and motivation levels. The vendor invoices get converted into bills faster as compared to doing this manually. This means you will not have any backlogs and bills can be paid faster, which in turn means that you won't be late on payments and could even avail early payment discounts. This improves your vendor relationships overall. Our solution plugs right into your NetSuite environment. So it maintains all your bill approval processes intact. All of that is not going to change. Vendors will be able to log into the portal to view their bills along with their other transactions like credit memos, written authorizations, etc., instead of having to reach out to your APT. Conflict or issue resolution can also be handled via the portal as opposed to doing it over an email.
Shrivanti, now say a company approaches us to implement invoice automation for their NetSuite account. What would we need from them for that?
Yeah, so all we need to know is the way that company currently creates bills in NetSuite from invoices that are received from their vendors and a few past bills to train our OCR engine. And those customers will also have to have the ability to set up their own rules around automation per vendor. So, and like, which expense account to be used, which default item to be used for that vendor, and all those settings can be done by the clients themselves, or we can help, of course.
Okay, got it. What are the different ways in which a vendor can submit invoices?
Vendors will be able to submit invoices in two different ways. They can either email to the client's AP account mailbox or whatever they choose, or drop the invoices on a particular section on PortalsPro. I'll show you this when I do the demo shortly. Alternately, AP team or NetSuite user can drag and drop the invoice onto a particular section in NetSuite. This will then get picked up by our automation engine to convert it into a NetSuite bill.
Okay. How will a vendor be able to view the status of their invoices?
Vendors will be able to view the status of the invoices they submit, like if the bill has been submitted or if it is successfully taken in by the NetSuite system, or if it has failed for some reason. They'll be able to see all of this in the portal itself. They can also view the status of the bill that got created against it in NetSuite. We provide a dashboard which gives a quick peek into statuses and any processing errors like PO closed, no matching found, um, no PO number found on invoice, ATS exceeded, like the available to spend exceeded, etc., for the NetSuite users.
How often do we need to upgrade the app?
We follow NetSuite's upgrade cycle, which is twice a year. So we also release new features twice a year around the same time as NetSuite does. With this, you can use the NetSuite's release preview account to test out the new features of this app as well. This is in case you don't have a separate SB account. You will have a choice to either opt in or opt out of the upgrade, unless it is something critical and has to be applied to your NetSuite account. At the same time, we also do ad hoc customizations as necessary.
Got it. Now, all this sounds really exciting, Shravanti. How about giving us a demo of this invoice automation feature?
Sure.
But before that, uh, let's just jump into a poll. This should take no more than 10 seconds, and you should see the question pop right up on your screen. Okay, thanks everyone for your responses. Shravanti, shall we jump into the demo?
Sounds good. So let me share my screen. Okay, so do you see my screen? NetSuite?
Yes, Shravanti.
Okay, great. So I'll walk you through the invoice automation and how easily it can be done. So for that, we will start with a vendor record in NetSuite, and I'll take you through the journey. I'm picking Adobe just as an example. So this is our sandbox system, so it's a bit slower. Please bear with us. So this is the vendor record, and we have everything related to PortalsPro and vendor management under vendor management subtab. And here is the OCR configuration. These are the settings we would need the clients to do by themselves, or we could be working with them to set this up, because when the invoice automation runs, it is going to look for the configuration information in here as to now identifying if the bill is a service-based bill or a non-service-based bill, and what expense account to use by default, what item to use by default in case there is nothing mentioned on the invoice. Same with freed item, discount, location, etc. So this is the basic setting that is required for any vendor for whom you want the automation to be done. Okay, so once this is all set up and the vendor is given access to PortalsPro, they'll be able to log in to PortalsPro. And this is our PortalsPro landing screen, but this could be customized, and we could make it blend with your existing style and theme of your own website. So just log in as Adobe. Okay, so this is how the vendor portal will look like. As I said, vendors will have access to their profile information. They can view their purchase orders, item receipts, bills. So these are all the transactions that they can check by themselves instead of having to reach out to you for information on these. Now comes the upload bills section where they could just come in and drop their invoices. Okay, so here is the drop zone, and all they have to do is just bring in the invoice that they want to send over and drop it in here. So I'm just going to drop this Adobe invoice in here. It takes a few seconds to get uploaded and get into NetSuite. You don't have to wait for this to be done. You could just, do the other things in the portal while it is trying to upload the invoice into NetSuite. So yeah, so as you can see, the invoice has been sent to NetSuite. Now, vendors could just refresh the screen here to make sure that the invoice has been sent. So as you can see, it says bill uploaded, and this is the February invoice that I just uploaded into NetSuite right now. So from this point on, it's our invoice automation that will pick this invoice and process it further. So let me go back to NetSuite screen and show you what happens next. I'm logged into NetSuite under a role called Procurement Manager. This role will be shipped along with the product, so you can assign this role to anyone who may have to perform these actions within NetSuite View. So it has certain dashboards. First one is a place where NetSuite user, as I mentioned before, could drop the invoices by themselves if if they have to process it without the vendors having to send an email or send it via portal. So just as we did on the portal, they just have to drop the invoice here. And the second section is OCR-based vendor bills. This shows the status of the bills that have come in and if they have been successful. Successful meaning if a bill has been created against that invoice successfully or not. And if it has failed, it's going to show us the reason why it has failed. And input type is the source, meaning if the invoice has come in through NetSuite, NetSuite is dropping the invoice here, or if it has come through portal or via an email. So as I mentioned before, vendors could either send an email or drop the invoice via the portal, right? So these are the two different options, and you can see the summary information here. Now let's see what happened to the bill that we just dropped through the portal. So it says bill uploaded. Now it takes a few minutes for our AI engine to pick this up and digitize it. That means it will extract the information from the invoice and create a temporary record for you to review. It's going to take a couple of minutes. So I'll just show you a bill that we have processed before already. So let me show you this one. This is again from Adobe. And you can see that it has been dropped through NetSuite. And the process is able to extract the vendor bill information and even the PO number and total amount as well. So let me go into this record and show you the details. So this is the temporary record that I was talking about. So this has the summary information of what happened with the invoice that has been processed by the AI engine. So it is able to extract the vendor name and total amount, tax, subtotal, etc. And status is successful. It means that the process has been able to create bill inside of NetSuite successfully. You can see the vendor bill number that it has created, and it was able to extract PO number from the invoice. So it has tagged it to the appropriate PO in NetSuite. So let me just go to the bill and compare the data and show you. So this is the bill, and under SkyDoc, you will see the actual PDF that we dropped via the portal, or this one has come from NetSuite. So this is the bill, and you will be able to do a quick comparison to see if the data is correct. So the total is 32.46, and this is the total amount, and it is it has created this bill, and it has referenced the right PO here as well. So you can look at that in the related records, purchase orders, and this is the PO number that this bill is tagged to, and you can find the same PO number here as well. So this screen will help you quickly compare the invoice versus the bill that got created in NetSuite. Now, going back to the dashboard, let me show you how error messages would look like in case there are any errors digitizing the data. So as you can see here, processing error field is the one that displays the information. This one says bill amount exceeded the available to spend. That means the bill has come in with a value more than what was available on the PO. So it throws an error. So what you can do in this case is either tag to a different PO or whatever your process is, you could just complete with that, and you could just go to this record and click on retry invoice creation, and it's going to attempt to create the bill once again. So once these errors are fixed, when you click on retry invoice creation, it tries to create a bill. So if everything goes well, it will create a bill in NetSuite. And from that point on, it follows your bill approval process. Similarly, we do have other error messages like PO closed. So this PO that was found on the invoice is closed. So as I said, you will receive notifications as well in such cases, so you can take immediate action on these. And this one says excluded from OCR. So if you want any of your vendor bills to not go through OCR system, you can flag those off as well. And you can see their report here. So these are several different types of error messages that will be helpful for you to understand what the error is during digitization of the invoice, and you can take the necessary action. So now, let me show you how the vendors will be able to check the status of their invoices. That let me go back into vendor portal and then go to vendor bills. So here you can reference the invoice number and see what the status is against that. So this one says pending approval because we just dropped it and it has not been processed. And this one says it is open. Once it is paid, it's going to say it is paid fully. So that's how vendors will be able to take a look at their status by themselves. And as I mentioned, inquiries can be addressed through portal as well. So that is done through our help desk navigation. Vendors would be able to come in here and submit their issue or ticket, and that goes into NetSuite and gets assigned to the appropriate person based on the settings in the system, and that person can take it from there. So everything will be recorded in NetSuite. So this concludes our demo.
Okay, thanks Shravanti for that demo. Now you mentioned that we could see the actual invoice under the SkyDoc tab. What exactly is SkyDoc?
Let me explain. You must be wondering that since the actual copies of the invoices are also stored in NetSuite, it could impact storage and result in you needing to purchase more file cabinet storage, which could get expensive, right? So, no, we have a solution for this as well. We have integrated one of our other suite apps called SkyDoc into PortalsPro. SkyDoc is one of our hero products. It is a document management solution built for NetSuite again, but it stores data on Amazon's AWS. So it comes with everything that Amazon has to offer. It is secure, scalable, robust, highly available, and much more economical than NetSuite's file cabinet. And unlike file cabinet, you just have to pay for what you use. As you've seen in the demo, SkyDoc is seamlessly integrated with NetSuite. You will be able to access all Skydoc files from NetSuite and even from outside NetSuite via a unique URL.
Okay, that's awesome, Shrivanti. Does Skydoc only store invoices?
No, it accepts all the standard document types. Not just this, it is a fully fleshed out document management system with a lot of other useful features. Some of our clients have even gone paperless by using Skydoc. Please contact us for more information or a demo on Skydoc. We will share the contact information towards the end of the webinar.
Okay. Now, what happens if Portals Pro satisfies some of the requirements for a potential client? Meaning, what do they do if they need a few changes or additions?
Sure. So PortalsPro is pretty customizable. We just need to understand the client's requirements and check out the feasibility. Once these are okay, we'll be able to customize PortalsPro for them.
Okay. What does the implementation cycle for Portals Pro look like?
As you can see in the slide here, it is a standard process. We start with kickoff and discovery. That could take a few calls, and based on what we discover from those calls, we will understand if there's any customization needed on our existing standard version of Portals Pro. And if needed, we will do those customizations as well and get into implementation and go live. And following that is post implementation support. Installation of Pulse Pro onto one sandbox, followed by installation into production environment, is what we offer uh, in a standard package. And we do train the trainer, user training to a certain extent. And we might also include limited support for your QA and UAT processes. And by default, we do not include any data migration, but we could discuss about that as well. Post implementation support includes invoice template retraining on the agreed formats and general Portals Pro application support.
Thank you, Shrivanti. Folks, if you have any questions, now's the time to post them. We're going to be hanging around for a little while just to answer any questions. I want to thank you for taking time out of your day to join us for our webinar. And if you would like to reach out to Shrivanti or call us, please use the information on the screen in front of you. We'll be right here. And until next time, hope to see you in another session. Thanks, Shrivanti.
Thank you all.